an HOA tried to fine me for land violations on land I legally bought for just $2,000. They didn't know one thing. Every single inch of it was mine. I bought 200 acres of land for just $2,000. And no, that's not a typo. There was no scam either. It was a foreclosure auction, remote land, forgotten property, and exactly 0 bidders. I saw the potential, so I bought it and just moved on with my life. Or at least I tried to. 1 week later, I opened my mailbox and froze. It was a fine notice from an HOA. The letter said I owed money for unauthorized land use, poor maintenance, and violating community rules. I read it 3 times. Because you see, that HOA wasn't on my deed. It wasn't on the title. It wasn't even mentioned anywhere. So I called the number. A woman answered like she was already mad at the world. She told me, quote, "You need to pay the fine immediately or we'll escalate this." I just asked her, "Can you explain why an HOA is finding the actual owner of the land?" She replied, "We've lived here for years. This land, it belongs to the HOA." That's when I realized something was very, very wrong. They weren't owners. They were occupiers. I calmly asked her to send me any legal document proving their claim. Instead, I started getting more threats, higher fines, legal warnings. They even talked about putting a lien on my property. Well, I stopped answering the calls and hired a lawyer. Within 2 days, my lawyer sent them a certified letter containing the recorded deed, the property boundaries, and a very clear warning. They were trespassing on private land. After that, total silence. No calls, no emails, and definitely no more fines. A week later, I got a very different message. It wasn't from the HOA board this time. It was from their lawyer. They actually asked if we could negotiate a lease so the families could stay. That's when it finally hit them. They weren't in charge. They never were. They were living on land they didn't own and had the nerve to try and fine the owner. I eventually agreed to a short-term lease at a fair rate with some very strict rules. Because look, buying land for $2,000 is one thing, but watching an HOA realize they have absolutely zero power, well, that's priceless.